Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the GMS apostles and elders who rule well. Peace, love, salutations to the elect 144. Just want to get, I was just doing some studying today. I don't know what to name it, this video, but I just probably name it like biblical science or whatever the Spirit brings out, I'll figure it out later, but I did want to get into some science. And the word science, it simply means like what is known, that's, what is known, or the knowledge of something acquired by study. All right. But and there's a few words I wanted to get into, but one word that will stem into some others. I want to start with scripture in Deuteronomy, the 5th chapter, and I'm gonna start at 1. And Moses called all Israel and said unto them, Hear, O Israel, the statutes and judgments which I speak in your ears this day, that ye may learn them and keep and do them. All right. First verse, it verifies or solidifies who is being spoken to, and it tells you what these laws, statutes, and commandments are given to, and that's the house of Israel. All right. And it's telling you what to do with those, to learn them and to keep them. So I'm going on to verse 2. Yahweh, our power, made a covenant with us in Horeb. Yahweh made not this covenant with our fathers, but with us, even us, who are all of us here alive this day. Yahweh talked with you face to face in the mount, out of the midst of the fire. I stood between Yahweh and you at that time to show you the word of Yahweh. For ye were afraid by reason of the fire, and went not up into the mount, saying, now, they were scared because, it's talking about a mount of fire. It was a big old chariot, it was fiery red. It was something they never seen before, probably, and they were just, freaked out, what I'm saying? So Moses, of course, was the one who went up there and got the commandments and brought them back down to Israel, the people. All right. Verse 6. I am Yahweh thy power, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. And that's what he's gonna do this second go around, this next Exodus. It's gonna be the final Exodus. It's gonna be the biggest Exodus. Well, not the most extravagant, if you know what I'm saying. Not to compare the end all say all to some fireworks, but when you go watch some fireworks, it's extravagant. It's awesome. It's like a sight to see. That's how this escape from hell. That's how we're gonna get broken out of jail. It's gonna be awesome, extravagant, and a wonder and a sight to see. If you're one of those ones who get caught up in that chariot, because you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it coming, and while you're going, you're gonna see it doing its thing, and it's gonna be a beautiful sight. Lord willing, we're one of those, men who get caught up in those chariots. But verse 7. Thou shalt thou shalt have none other gods before me. All right. All right, let me continue. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image. All right, so let me stop there. So you're not supposed to have any. This it's a commandment. This is part of the 10 Commandments. I'm just reading it out of Deuteronomy, the 5th chapter. So he says, "You should not have any gods before me." I was thinking, you got your Buddhists, your Baphomets, your Mohammeds, your satanic worship, your whatever, your Jesus. You got all these different gods, just like they had in the scriptures. That the house of Israel went off on and started, putting before Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You got that going on today. Now also you think about it, there's some people who put material things before everything. So it said, thou shalt not, verse 7 says, thou shalt have none other gods before me. Verse 8, thou shalt not make thee any graven image. All right? And there's a comma, but I'm going to stop right there. Should not make any graven image. So, even if someone's not, worshiping Buddha, whatever, but they're caught up in this world, all right? The materials matter to them. Materials, okay? Let me get the definition for the word material. Material means a substance, matter, from which a thing is made, okay? Substance, matter, in which a thing is made. And that led me into something different. Well, no, it's in the same lines. It actually is in the exact same lines, but it's the word materialism, because you hear when a person is very materialistic, So the word materialistic comes from that word materialism, and then you extract it and break it down even better. It goes into the simple word material, which I just read and told y'all the definition, which is substance, matter, from which a thing is made. Now, materialism, the definition of that is philosophy that nothing exists except matter, a way of life. So it's a philosophy that nothing exists, and it's a way of life based entirely on consumer goods. That's what the word materialism means. Okay, when you go into materialistic, if someone's materialistic, nothing else exists except matter and in a way of life based on consumer goods. So let me put it as this: everybody is materialistic, not me. But there's a difference between being materialistic and materialistic. I know it sounds just like what are you talking about? What are you talking about? So everybody owns something. Everybody has some type of material. It's the same thing with money. People have money. A majority of people have money. Okay? And then there's people who have money, and that's all they think about. You know what I'm saying? Because we know money is a defense. That word defense, if you look it up, it's like a shadow or a shade. It's going to cover us for now. You know what I'm saying? And we have certain materials that will suffice for now. All right? But we understand that something exists. It's in his name, Yahweh. He exists. And the consumer goods is not the way of life. All right? Because ultimately that's being carnal. All right? So materialism. Philosophy that nothing exists except matter. So if someone's materialistic, they don't believe in anything. All they believe is that if you have this car, have this house, have this type of money, have these type of clothes, you're somebody or you're something. All right? They don't think about, are you spiritual? Are you close? Are you seeking Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai? All right? So being materialistic is enmity against the Most High. And I'm going to get that scripture. All right? This is Romans 8:7. I could start from the, probably like 4 or 5, but I'm going to get to the point. All right, Romans 8 and 7. Because the carnal mind is enmity against Yahweh. Okay? Being materialistic is enmity against Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Because it's the philosophy that nothing exists except matter. Nothing exists. So if you're materialistic and all about materials and certain items, you're dead. You're dead. You're of this world. You're carnal. You're carnally minded. Okay? As a matter of fact, I'll skip up to verse 5. I said I wasn't, but I'm going to skip up to verse 5. Romans 8 and 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh. Materialistic. Materialism. Material items. Only worried about materials. Okay? But they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and we're always moving in the Spirit. All right? We're not worried about materials. Okay? Now, Deuteronomy, the 5th chapter. Okay? Deuteronomy 5 and 7. Thou shalt have none other gods before me. If you're materialistic, your God is those material items. Because you're putting that before Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Like I explained earlier, you got your Baphomet, your Buddhists, Muhammad's, your Jesus, all that, and people put that before Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But you got to think that people also are putting material items like their car, their clothes, their house, and saying, this is my God, pretty much. Because the scriptures also did say you will serve wood and stone, And those houses and cars and stuff, they're all made of those certain type of materials, or matter, or elements, or atoms, which I'm going to get into. Okay? Thou shalt not make thee any graven images or likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. Okay? You're not supposed to make anything that... Just don't make anything that you're going to sit there and praise. And people will build a house and praise it. Buy a car and praise it. So that you're putting a God or a power or entity before the Creator, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Alright? Now I started thinking, I was like, okay, are materials made? You know what I'm saying? I know it's a weird question. Are materials made? Material is just a material. You know what I'm saying? But are they made? And so what I stumbled across was atoms and elements. All right? I'm going to give you a definition or a little something on, not a definition, it's something to ponder on. Okay? So, first I want to say, so ultimately being materialistic is carnal, and you're being Satan. You're adverse to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You're against everything, the law, statutes, and commandments that he gave us, if you're being materialistic. Okay, so I said that question, are materials made? Or what are materials made of? Whatever. Okay, so you bring it all the way down in your research, and you stumble across atoms. Okay, so atoms are it's like the building block of materials. Okay, no matter how simple or complicated the material is. Okay, so you got compounds. Okay, you learned this in high school or whatever school. Okay, compounds are made up of different types of atoms combined together. Okay, so an example of a compound would be water. Okay, water. Okay, so that's H, which is hydrogen, and you have that 2, which means 2 hydrogen atoms, and you have O, which is oxygen. Put that together, you got a water particle, okay? And you got water, okay? A lump of copper is copper. So a lump of copper will be made up of only copper atoms, okay? Hey, it's a lot, it's my dog. Will only be made of copper atoms, all right? Water particles, like I said, will be made up of 2 hydrogen atoms and oxygen atoms combined together. So materials are made, and you need materials to make any object. Okay. Now, you're gonna see. You just ponder on that. Okay. Think about that. Okay. Now, before I get into the scriptures, I'm gonna make one more point. Okay. Make one more point. So, all right. So, are materials made? Yes, they are made. Okay, because they comprise of atoms that make up a certain material, like a copper or gold. The symbol for gold is capital A and a lowercase u. If you look it up on the periodic table, you know, sulfur S, phosphorus a P, or you can say sulfur and an 8, and a phosphorus is like a P and a 4. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna go to Genesis 1:1. All right, Genesis 1:1, and it reads, "In the beginning, Elohim, powers, created the heaven and the earth." Okay, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the spirits of God, or powers, moved upon the face of the waters. Okay, the earth was without form. Okay, matter and elements were being formed at that very moment. Okay, Yahushai and the elect and the angels were forming the earth and the waters. You know, Shemayim. All right, the heavens, the firmament, the elements that we see today on earth. They're forming all of that. Okay, the materials. All right. So, all right. So I was like, okay, because you don't want to think too hard into like some, you know, scientific type things. Because why? You want to go in Isaiah. I'm gonna get Isaiah 55. Okay. Isaiah 55:8. Okay. "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, said Yahweh." Okay. Verse 9. "For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." I said this the other day. You know, Yahweh Shem Yahushai gave us enough in this book for our salvation. You know, we'll get the rest in the kingdom to understand how everything was done. You know, we'll get the full blueprint. We'll get we'll get how we did it. You know what I'm saying? It's like watching that movie Ocean's 12 or Ocean's 11. You'll be watching a movie, and at the end they'll kind of like break it towards the end. They'll break it down on how they did it. Oh, that's how they got away with it. Oh, they did that. Oh, I get it now. I get why they did that earlier in the movie. We're gonna get that in the kingdom. All right. So when it comes to this, don't like ponder about it. But I was wondering. Okay. So I brought, you know, because it brought to my attention because I looked up the word material, and materialism came about. All right. So I got into atoms, and then I started thinking. Obviously, the men of the Lord, the material things that they have right now, it doesn't fucking matter. Excuse my French, but it doesn't matter. Nothing matters, and I'm gonna bring that scripture that's been coming out a lot lately, and that's 2 Peter's. That's 2 Peter 3. Y'all know where, brothers. Y'all know where I'm going. 2 Peter 3, and I'm gonna start at 10. All right. "But the day of Yahweh Shem Yahushai will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt away with fervent heat." So I looked that up. All right. I looked up, can an element or can an atom be destroyed? All right. So I read something. I said it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you have on this side. That's what I came up with. And I understand that everything that we have come from the earth. So it's a material object made up of elements and atoms. Okay? Well, can they be destroyed? You know? The earth is made up of elements and a combination of elements, all right, called compounds, which I went into earlier. An element is a pure substance made up of atoms, okay? Made up of atoms that are of all the same type. So like I said earlier, copper, that's a pure element, okay? It's just a copper atom. It's just copper, okay? So I went into a little more. It said, I was like, can it be destroyed? So I was like, I ran into this, and it says, man cannot destroy atoms. Okay, he can split the atoms, causing a chemical reaction or a combustion. Hence, where you get nuclear weapons or atomic bombs, which we saw in World War II. All right, the split of the atom, nuclear fission. You get the uranium atom and split it, and it combusts, creating a big burst of energy. Okay, that's how you get your bombs. That's how you get your nukes. That's what they're making to destroy America and every other little place that's going to get hit. All right. So I went a little bit in Esau's science. You know, you got to obviously whatever you find, you got to dissect it and, you know, pick out the bones and filter it through the scriptures, right? So according to Dalton's atomic theory, atoms of one cannot be changed into atoms of a different. So one atom, so you can't take a sulfur or phosphorus atom and make it into a gold atom. You can't do that. You cannot do that. All right. So atoms of an element cannot be changed into atoms of a different element by chemical reactions. You can make a chemical reaction using different atoms or different elements, but you can't change that atom, that specific atom, into another atom via chemical reaction. Impossible. All right. And atoms can neither be created nor destroyed in chemical reactions. Okay, so you can't put some crap together, chemical reaction, boom, gold comes out. You can't do that either. All right. Any substance that contains only one kind of atom is known as an element. So gold, copper, silver, phosphorus, sulfur, if I said that already, anything on that periodic table, you know, oxygen, hydrogen, they can't, you know, you can't just make those, you know what I'm saying? Any substance that contains only one atom, those are elements, okay? So elements on the periodic table cannot be destroyed, okay? So there has to be a higher power who can destroy those, you know? So this is where it's going to get into the destruction. So back to 2 Peter 3:10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and elements shall melt with fervent heat. If you're melting an element, you're destroying it ultimately. Man can't destroy an element by chemical reaction, by splitting the atom, by blowing it up. Man can't do that. A higher power needs to do that. Some supernatural force has to do that. So the destruction is just not a destruction, if you get what I'm saying. It's more intricate. It's precise. It's literally, he's going in. Here's a building. We're gonna go into that building. We're gonna go. It's made with metal beams, iron. We're gonna go into that iron, and we're gonna go get the atom, and we're gonna burn and melt that atom and destroy it, liquefying it. Liquidation. Everything's gonna get liquefied. Yahweh Shemel Shai, like I read in Genesis 1:1, created the elements in the atoms. Okay, who's the only one who can destroy it? The Creator. Just like you gotta pray to get out of a certain situation, to the one who put you into that certain situation, because he's the only one who can get you out of it. So Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, created these elements, and he can destroy these elements. And that's what he's going to do when this destruction comes back. This destruction is very, very precise. It's not just throw some bombs over here, boom, boom, boom. No, he's going to make certain elements fly over to destroy and burn other elements and melt them with fervent heat. So that it's like very precise, and you got to understand real intricate. It's like surgery. Really just dissecting destruction. All right. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burnt up. So your materialistic people ultimately, because they're against the Most High, and they only think the philosophy of the only thing that exists is matter, is going to get burnt up. So all those material items that you have, the cars, the clothes, the house, the females, if you have any, those are all going to get burnt up, unless you're part of that 1/3, 144. All right. Continuing on, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved. Okay, everything is going to be dissolved. All the atoms, the elements, the compounds that are in this land is going to be dissolved. He's the only one who can destroy an atom or an element. The only one. Nobody else can. Man can't do it. They've been trying. Esau's been trying, but there's no way. Because also you got to think, the spirit of the Most High is going to be in those missiles, and they're not going to miss their mark when they come over here. Okay? All right. Seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? And every brother understands what that means. Conversation goes back into the word conduct. How should you be conducting yourself during your liberty, during your grace? Okay? So I'm going to get a few more scriptures on the destructions. I'm going to close it out. Okay? I'm going to Malachi 4:1. All right, this is Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. Okay? Burn as an oven. Things are going to get burnt up, just like it said in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. And melted and dissolved. These elements, these atoms are going to get melted and dissolved. When you read 2nd Ezra's, I want to say the 16th chapter, and it talks about they were sore afraid but durst fight. Okay, he put the spirit on them to fight back, and what happened to it? Yeah, they got destroyed, but what really happened to them? All right, and it reads, and they. 2nd Ezra's chapter 13, verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, because it took, and there's another scripture, I can't think of it straight off the bat, where it says it took no labor, for him. All right. Continuing, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, a concentrated fire, a laser beam, focus. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. That means a whole human being, poof, dust in a sudden. That's scientific to do that. to have a concentrated fire to turn something into nothing or destroy it. Dust, destroying elements, destroying atoms. They're not just fighting, they're fighting the superior being who can do anything he wants. And he can destroy you any way he pleases. He's going to destroy all elements that man can't destroy. That's how you know when you read these scriptures. First off, that's the fear you should have. He can destroy an atom because he made an atom. All right? When I saw this, I was afraid. All right? Go back to Malachi 4:1. For behold, the day cometh, thou shalt burn as an oven, and all the proud, all that do wickedly, shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up. Saith Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, or saith Yahweh of hosts, of armies, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch, because all the elements and the atoms will be utterly destroyed. And it's like a fine cut, slice right through, perfect line, no mistakes, laser edged, right to the atom. This destruction is more than just blow up. It's really particular. All right? And I just wanted to get just, something about it. It was just very interesting to look up. And it was just something. I was at work looking this up, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is amazing. And the power that he possesses, I don't know how you could walk around everyday life and thinking that nothing can be done to you. That's why I said that's being proud. It says all the proud and all the wicked are going to be, because being proud is being wicked, are going to be burnt up and melted. And the elements that are in your body, the atoms that are in your body, are going to be destroyed and liquefied. Everything is going to be precise, and you're going to feel every bit of it if you don't have that veil on, if you don't have that armor on, if you weren't doing what you're supposed to do during your liberty. You're going to get dissected properly, for say, by these nuclear missiles that are coming, made up of different materials and elements for you materialistic idiots out there. You're going to get one last material up your ass sideways, and that's that nuclear fire. All right? I don't understand how you can walk around not fearing anything. That's why the men of the Lord, the sincere men out there pushing this truth, man, we're walking on eggshells every day, man. Thin ice. And we're like, okay, the scripture said this, I should be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because we have fear. We understand what he can do on a low scale ultimately. But he gave us enough to understand. He gave us enough to know how to get the hell up out of here. All right? So with that, I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone who rule well. Peace, love, salutations to the first fruit. Elect 144. Shalom. And one last thing, man. Keep pushing, keep fighting. And I'm going to say it every single time after my videos. I don't care, man. Keep pushing. If you're in this is not the time to fall out. If you feel like you're getting weak, pray for strength. And keep pushing and keep fighting, man. To the end, man. Those who endure to the end shall be saved, man. Keep pushing, keep fighting, keep putting this work out, keep doing the work. It's because it's gonna ramp up in a quick second, man. It's April of 2017 right now. It was just January. Time is speeding up for the elect's sake. Keep pushing, keep fighting. We're almost out of here, Akim. I couldn't stress that anymore, man. I couldn't stress that anymore. Shalom.